So moving on to the last article, again by Fars. How neuromorphic brain chips will begin the next era in computing. So this is a bit different to my regular sort of story, but it's interesting nonetheless as a bit of diversification and to see what is coming. And again, it's released and being developed by IBM, and we're all aware of Theresa May in my previous video, in my previous article, met with high members from IBM. So this is all a linked story in the background. And for those of you who have forgotten, the jet that left Kuala Lumpur, Malaysian airliner, I think it was MH17 or one of the ones that went down, it was full of IBM staff, members, managers that were in a deal with either Rothschild or Rockefeller, who had a patented technology through IBM regarding some sort of military application for a weapon. Anyway, the theory behind it was that this patent was shared with IBM, and the Rothschild wanted to have full ownership. So he just downed the jet. He just downed the plane, killing everybody on board. Reportedly landing in that military base, Garcia, out in the Indian Ocean or somewhere down there. Slight sidetrack. Anyway, let's get into the article. Rather than line up billions of digital transistors all in a line, True North chips have 1 million computer neurons that work in parallel across 256 million interneuron connectors. Synapses. According to these reports, the approach is paying incredible dividends in the performance and, more importantly, power efficiency. Make no mistake, neuromorphic computing is going to change the world, and it's going to do it more quickly than you might imagine. The development of neuromorphic computers is thematically pretty similar to the development of digital computers. First, figure out the utility of an operation, say, computing firing trajectories during wartime. Then develop a crude way of doing it with the tools you already have available. Say, rooms full of people doing manual arithmetic. Then invent a machine to automate this process in a more efficient way. Part of the reason a digital computer is more efficient than a human being is its transistors can fire with incredible speed. But so can our neurons. The biggest issue is a digital computer is designed from the ground up to do these sorts of mathematical operations. From a certain perspective, it's a bit crazy we've ever tried to do efficient mathematical work on a computer like a human brain. Similarly, we will eventually look back at the attempt to do learning operations with digital chips, including GPUs, and inherently unwise or even silly. The much more responsible approach is to design a thinking machine suited to such operations from the most basic hardware level. As naturally predisposed to machine learning as a Celeron chip is to multiplication, this could not only greatly increase the speed of the processor for these tasks, but dramatically reduce the energy consumed to complete each one. That's what IBM has in the works, and it's much further along than many expect. When tasked with classifying images, a well-understood machine learning task, a True North chip can churn through between 1,200 and 2,600 frames every second, and do it while using between 25 and 275 MW. This leads to an effective efficiency of more than 6,000 frames per second per watt. There's no listed standard frames per second watt figure for conventional GPUs using the same sort of algorithm and dataset. But considering modern graphics cards might draw 200 or even 250 watts all on their own, it's hard not to imagine a host of low-power, high-performance applications. Most significantly, there is an incredible expense of modern machine learning. Companies like Apple, Facebook, and Google can only deliver their advanced services by running expensive arrays of supercomputers designed to execute machine learning algorithms as efficiently as possible. That specialization comes at a crushing cost. Even leaving that aside, electricity alone becomes a major expense when you're running that many computers at or near capacity 24 hours a day. Just ask Bitcoin miners. That's kind of why I'm reading this article out, guys, because this is going towards how it will make Bitcoin mining so much more efficient and profitable. So, early, expensive neuromorphic hardware will likely be a major boon to the service providers. We can only hope this will be passed along to consumers in the form of improved performance and wide range savings. But the speed and efficiency offered by neuromorphic chips won't start there. Reducing power draw by several orders of magnitude will allow such tasks to come out of the cloud entirely. Want a Babelfish look wearable that auto-translates any foreign speech in your vicinity without the necessity of an always-on internet connection? What about a fitness tracker that knows your every move without ever having to upload that data to a separate computer for analysis? A self-drive car that can go off the grid? Or an interplanetary rover that can make unforeseen decisions while out of communication range and running on a tiny nuclear battery? Neuromorphic chips are currently the most likely way of actually getting such jobs done. Right now, there's no indication conventional hardware can succeed in its place. IBM says it has a new rig called NS16E, an array of 16 true north processors totaling about 4 billion synaptic connections. Nothing compared with a human brain, but seemingly more than enough to tackle modern machine learning problems. These 16 chips can talk to one another thanks to the passive message passing connections between them, broadly mirroring the function of the corpus callosum that connects the two hemispheres of the brain through multi-directionally. But IBM isn't the only one lunging for this particular finish line. There are the requisite rumours of a Google research project. More notably, Qualcomm has claimed to have neuromorphic capacity in some of its upcoming Snapdragon processors, though it was always a bit unclear how that would work, and there hasn't been much chatter on that front in recent times. Private investment in this space has been tentative, with most of the progress made by IBM coming thanks to the infusion of cash from Darpa, D-A-R-P-A. Yes, Darpa. After all, soldiers are constantly tromping around areas of the world with poor data coverage and trying to communicate with people who speak truly specific languages. The traditional means of trying to tackle this problem is called natural language processing, NLP. And right now, soldiers in the field are doing mostly data retrieval for centralized NLP analysis. With neuromorphic computing available, their translators could begin breaking down a novel dialect right away, improving translation in real time. Soldiers aren't the only ones with a need for rugged portability. However, in particular, it seems the quickly oncoming wave of smart eyewear from Google Glass 2.0 to Snapchat social media spectacles can only realize its true potential by removing distant data services from their workflow. We might imagine a pair of glasses that layer a helpful augmented reality heads-up display over the world in real time, highlighting useful elements for you. This sort of functionality will be difficult to roll out for hundreds of millions of electronic consumers if it requires constant, high-throughput data streaming to some sort of suburb of San Francisco. The issue isn't just that such a broad, constant data stream will kill our batteries, though it will, but that performance, cost, and in particular privacy will all be fundamentally improved by doing these complex tasks locally. All things being equal, the only real downside is to the service provider, which can use or sell the unique personal insights it can gain in managing all your personal requests. Wearable computing, augmented reality, sensory assistance, all these emerging trends require the application of cutting-edge machine learning algorithms. Right now, at IBM and elsewhere, we're seeing the emergence of the technology most likely to let these algorithms spread fast enough and far enough to fully realize all of that potential. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please do leave your comments, please do share, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to help support this channel, you can find it in the comment section below. Your donations will be muchly appreciated and will help to support this channel in its growth. Thanks so much. See you on the next one.